Okay, so this morning, this is going to be a totally selfish practice. Um, just the stuff that I'm feeling like my body needs. We work a lot on strength in these classes, and I've noticed that my hamstrings are just super tight. And I think it's also just from the being home, and I, I'm sitting more. I don't know, but this is going to be a pretty stretchy class, but we'll also work on some strength. So for props today, I have a strap, 2 blocks, and a blanket. And we'll be doing some sliding strength. So you'll need to find something to slide with. That's so weird, my camera there. I've got wood floor, so I can just use my blanket for sliding. If you're on carpet, grab like a paper plate or a broken down cereal box. Will probably be slippery. If you don't have something to slide, that'll be fine, but we'll do some core work with that. And just go ahead and come to your back. We'll start on our backs. Have your strap handy. Oh, sorry. Have your strap within reach. And just come on down onto your back. Your legs can be long or your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, either way. And we'll just take about 5 breaths to really just arrive in our bodies. And bring your hands to your lower ribs. Relax through your shoulders and your face. Let your diaphragm really draw down in towards your belly as you inhale. And exhale, let everything draw in toward the center. As you inhale, really think about expanding those low ribs in 360 degrees. And I can't believe that January is already over. But even right now, I can hear the wrens outside my window. I love that the birds are getting more active. And some light at the end of winter. Go ahead and just bend your right knee into your chest and find some little circles, just one direction and then the other. And then just some bike pedals. You can straighten that leg and lift. And bend your knee and straighten your leg to hover and lift, and then switch directions. Just a couple times. Start to get into your hamstring. And then grab your strap and just loop it around the bottom of that right foot and lengthen. And if you can keep those natural curves of your spine, you can lengthen your left leg on the floor. This is early in our practice. It's fine to have some stiffness. With all your might, pull your strap into your foot and push your foot into your strap and just engage that leg. And then let go of that effort and see if maybe you have a little more space to stretch. And do that a couple of times. Just that engagement and then that letting go. Take both straps into your right hand. Just keep your left hip grounded. Turn your right toe slightly out to the right and drop that leg. And just stretch there. Come back up to center. Just release your strap along your side. Grab onto the back of that right thigh And then push your thigh into your hands. Just roll yourself up with that straight right leg. Bend your left knee. Bring your foot inside that right thigh. And then fold into a Janushirshasana over that straight right leg. And just one more breath there. Go ahead and come on up. And we'll find boat pose. Balance on your sitting bones. Float your shins. And just balance here. Lengthen through your spine. Reach your heart. You might even notice that one leg feels totally different than the other. And then lower down to hover shoulder blades and heels up off the floor. So we're here in a half boat. And don't let your belly poke up. See if you can let it spread. And then release. Bend both knees, and then just find those few little circles with your left. And then push your legs straight to hover and lift it up. Bend, straighten, and lift, and then switch. Lower that straight leg and bend it into your chest. Lengthen up and find your strap again. Release your tailbone toward the floor. And keep a curve under your lower back, and if you can keep that integrity of your spine, you can lengthen your right leg. And then push your foot into your strap, pull your strap into your foot, and then release your effort. Maybe that leg will come a little bit closer to you. I like to have straight arms, so I'm not really bringing a whole lot of tension into shoulders. Push your foot into your strap, strap into your foot. And then release that effort. And then you can just use the weight of your arms to help you with your stretch there. And bring both of your straps into your left hand. Turn your toes slightly to the left and then lengthen your leg out to the left. And have some energy coming out of your right heel. Your right hip stays grounded. Come back up to center. Just drop your strap. Wrap your hands around the back of that left hamstring and then push your leg into your hands to roll yourself up. You can bend your right knee and bring it in towards your inner thigh and fold. And breathe there. And come on up, find your balance on your sitting bones. Hover your shins in your boat. And maybe lengthen your legs. And we'll roll down to that half boat. So you'll bring your lower back to the floor, hover your shoulder blades and your heels. Maybe reach arms overhead this time. And then we'll come back up to our full boat. Cross your ankles, rock forward, plant your hands, and step back to downward facing dog. And check in with yourself here, pedaling your heels out from side to side. Just notice what's happening in your shoulders. And then rock forward to plank. Bend your knees to hover above the floor, hips to heels, and then lengthen back into your downward facing dog. And just find this wave. Plank, knees hover, downward dog. Plank, knees hover, downward dog. Let's do that one more time. And then come to a plank. You can have your knees up or down. Push the floor away, spread your shoulder blades apart, and then draw your shoulder blades together. Push the floor away, and then draw your shoulder blades together. Do that one more time. And then we'll find puppy pose. Knees to the floor, hips stacked over your knees. Reach your arms forward and long. Bring your forehead or chin toward the floor. And just stretch through those shoulders. Ground your elbows. Bring your hands together and then bring your palms behind your head. Lengthen again through your outer armpits. Release. Your arms come onto hands and knees. And thread your right arm underneath and find a twist. Use that left hand for leverage. Just stretch behind that right shoulder blade and then switch sides. Left arm threads down. You can walk your right fingertips above you or keep them by your face. Just kind of use that right hand to leverage you into your twist. And then come back to hands and knees. Step your right foot forward into a low lunge. And inhale to reach high. Exhale, come halfway forward and float your back knee. And then inhale, come to standing balance on your right foot, left knee into your chest. And then we'll step back. Ground your knee, reach high. Lean forward, lift that knee. And then standing balance on your right foot, knee into chest. One more time. Reach high. Lean forward. And reach high. We'll step this left leg back and find warrior two. So ground through that left foot. Line up your right arch with your left, and your right heel with your left arch. And then face that long edge of your mat. Interlace your fingers. Oh, sorry, let me change it to speaker. Push your palms away and then just reach those arms straight up toward the ceiling. Shoulders out of your ears. And then drop your lower ribs down, so don't let your ribs flare here. And then just lean back. Push through that right palm. And then other side. Lean forward. And just go back and forth a couple of times. Lean back. And then you can lean halfway forward. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh, lengthen. Through your left arm. And then we'll cartwheel our hands down inside that right foot, but keep your feet in this warrior two position. And just walk your hands about 45 degrees to the left. Really push back through your right inner thigh. So it's kind of like your downward dog with your upper body. But warrior two with your lower body. And then walk that right hand closer in to your right heel. You can have your right fingertips on the floor inside that right heel, or bring your forearm back up to your thigh. Find your side angle pose again here. And then cartwheel both hands to frame that front foot. Lift your back heel. Step back to plank. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Float your hands up off the floor. And then plant your hands with that engagement in your back body. Inhale to lift your heart. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees and bring them to the floor. Step your left foot forward into your low lunge. Reach your arms high. And then exhale, come halfway forward. Tuck your back toes, lift that knee. And then we'll come to that standing balance on your left foot. So push into that left heel. Bring your right knee into your chest and reach high. And then flow yourself back to your low lunge. Reach high. And then part way forward, lift that back knee. Come to stand. Let's do that 2 more times. And find that low lunge. Reach high. Draw into that strength. Push through that left heel. Right knee into your chest. And then open your hip step back to your warrior 2. Right leg back. And just settle here for a second. And then interlace your fingers the unusual way and push your palms away. And reach high. Lean back. And lean forward. And lean back. And lean forward. Lean back. Lean forward. And then find your side angle pose. Left forearm to left thigh. Push into that right heel, lengthen out through your fingertips. And then bring your hands down inside that left foot. Really push that left knee away from you. So you walk your hands about 45 degrees to the right and lengthen. And push that right inner groin back. And push into your hands and kind of lengthen back through your sitting bones. So downward facing dog with your upper body and warrior 2 with your lower. And then walk your hands in. Left fingertips to the floor or left forearm to your thigh. And find your side angle pose again. And then hands frame that left foot. Step back to your plank. Make your way to your downward facing dog. So you can lower and go through your vinyasa or just lift your hips up and back. And then step your feet as wide as your mat. Heels in, toes out just a little bit. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend your knees and sit down into a squat. And you can kind of go from side to side, lifting one heel and then the other. Lengthen, maybe find a place where you're still. And then push into your heels. Come up to standing. And then we'll step off our mat. Now this is the place where we're going to do some sliding. So if you're on carpet, you can go grab like a cereal box or even maybe like a Ziploc bag, plastic bag. If you're on wood floor, you could grab some socks really fast or a blanket or a towel. I'm just gonna fold my mat in half. And bring my feet to my blanket. And just have it folded so that you can have both of your feet about hip distance apart. So maybe you have a paper plate for each foot. I'll wait a second for people to gather supplies. And just have it right behind your mat. Okay. Inhale and reach high. And then fold over and connect your hands with the floor. So bend your knees as much as you need to. And then we'll slide our legs back into plank. You can pause there. And then from there, we'll pike your hips up and pull your legs back in. Then you can bend your knees to push back into plank. Now you can do it the other way. Bend your knees to pull in and then lengthen out. And see if you can push back with straight legs. And try it the other way. Pull in with straight legs, bend your knees and push back. So just play with this at your own pace. Just sliding back and pulling in. If you need to be on fists, if it's too much on your wrists, or hands on blocks. Let's just do one more. And in your standing forward fold, shake out your wrists. You can sway from side to side. And then come up to standing. Move your slider out of the way. Unfold your mat. And just come to standing up at the top of your mat. Inhale and reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot back into a lunge. Exhale to ground that left knee. And we'll bend and straighten our right leg. So just move with your breath. Bending and straightening that right leg. So I'm sorry, guys. I started right at 7. So I don't know what I was thinking. Just bend and straighten here. And bend into that right knee. Plant down through your left hand, either on your fist or your hand. And then find a big stretch, a big twist. Reach your right arm up. And then bend your left knee. You can reach back with your right hand for your left foot. Draw your shoulder blades together. Stretch through that left quadricep. And then release. Bring your hands back to the floor and lift your back knee. And now we'll bend and straighten here. So if you need your hands on blocks to bend and straighten your right leg here, feel free to grab those. And just bending and straightening. Keep your back heel lifted. Next time your right leg comes straight, dial your left heel down and we'll open our left arm up into triangle pose. And just pause there. Take one more breath in. And then left hand to the floor. Rock onto the pinky edge of your left foot. And just toe heel your right foot partway down your mat. And find a supported side plank here. Externally rotate through your left upper arm. Maybe you can walk your right foot to stack on top of your left. And then bring that right hand to the floor. Find your plank. Exhale to lower into child's pose or all the way to your belly. And then inhale, find a cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And just breathe. Inhale onto your tippy toes, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way to standing. Reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale and reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale your right foot back into your lunge. Exhale that right knee down. And again here, just reach your heart forward and then lengthen your leg. And walk your hands back and forth as much as you need to. Just get friendly with your hamstring. Bend into that left knee, ground through your right hand or fist and reach your left arm up. And pause there or bend your right knee, maybe reach back for that right foot with your left hand. Find some external rotation of your upper right arm bone so you're open through your heart. One more breath. And then release. Frame that left foot with your hands and then lift your right knee up off the floor. And now we'll bend and straighten your left leg again with that right knee lifted. And if you need your hands on blocks, and then find your blocks. Just lengthening through that left leg. Lengthen through your left leg and then rotate your right heel down to open yourself up into your triangle pose. So if your hand's on a block, you can have your hand there. You could bring your hand up to your shin or keep your fingertips outside that left foot. Ground through your left big toe ball mound and then draw your left outer hip back. And then reach through your right heel and lengthen out through the crown of your head. And then right hand to the floor. Rock your right foot to the pinky toe edge of your right foot and turn your left toes to the left. Open up in your side plank here. Or you could step your left foot back. And then left hand down. And push back into child's pose or lower to your belly. Engage your back body. Slide forward or just reach your heart up into cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Just check in with yourself here. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Inhale onto your tippy toes, look forward. Exhale to bend your knees. Take a walk, or you can hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way to standing reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. And just pause and check in. We'll go through that same flow, just a little bit faster this time. Inhale and reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, left knee down. Inhale to just reach your heart forward. And then exhale to straighten and bow over that right leg. And rock forward. And back. Rock forward, plant through that left hand. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And then bend your left knee, maybe reach back for that foot with your hand. Just stretch there. And then release. Both hands to the floor, fingertips or blocks, lift your back knee. Straighten through that front leg and bend. You can use your blocks here. Lengthen through your right leg, and then dial down your left heel and open yourself up into your triangle pose. And find that external rotation of your upper right arm. Push into your right big toe ball mound, draw back through your right outer hip. Push into your left heel, lengthen through the crown of your head. And then both hands down. And then plant your left hand, rock onto the pinky toe edge of that left foot. You can turn your right toes to the right and walk halfway down. Or you can stack feet. And then right hand to the floor. Exhale to your belly or to child's pose. Inhale, lift your heart, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way to standing reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale and reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot back, right knee down, and then just bend and straighten your left leg. Walking your hands as much as you need to. Bend into your left knee, ground through your right hand, reach your left arm up, and then maybe bend your back knee, reach for that foot. And then release. Both hands to the floor, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. And on fingertips or blocks, bend and straighten that left leg with that right knee, right heel lifted. And then lengthen through your left leg, dial down that right heel, and peel yourself open into your triangle. Left hand on block, or shin, or the floor. Just do what really feels stable in that left hip. And feel like you're just expanding in all directions. So really reach through each of your legs, each of your arms, out through the crown of your head. One more breath. And then right hand down. Find that stability. Externally rotate through that right upper arm. Come onto the pinky edge of your your right foot. Turn your left toes to the left. Or stack. Left hand down. Straight back to downward facing dog or lower. Inhale into your back bend. Lengthen out of your lower back. Exhale. Downward facing dog or child's pose. Inhale onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Make your way up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way to standing. Reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Just pause. Feel your breath. Inhale and reach high. Exhale, fold forward. And if you have 2 blocks, have them handy. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And then step your left foot back into a lunge. Ground that left knee. Now we're going to play with splits. I can't do the splits, but we're just going to stretch our hamstrings that way. And that's why I have my blocks. So draw your hips back to lengthen through your right leg. And then really lengthen. And you can kind of tick-tock your foot from side to side here to get through all those ropes of your hamstrings. And then you can slide your right foot forward and lengthen a little bit. And then maybe bend into your knee and sneak your left knee back. And we're just going to play here. Just kind of back and forth. If you've got your hands on blocks, you can use your blocks underneath your hands. You can even bring a block any height underneath your right thigh. Okay. So just find a place that's friendly. And then you can just breathe. And we're working toward our hips square, but just do something that doesn't feel like super tweaky for your hips or lower back. So you just find your place. So you can have this block under your thigh at any height, the medium height, the lowest height. Just find a place where you have a really interesting stretch and just let it lengthen and let your exhales get long. And let yourself just kind of settle into it. So don't make it an emergency where you're really gripping and resisting the part that's lengthening and stretching. Let's take another 2 breaths. And especially in the morning, this is a lot for our hamstrings, but I just feel like we've been doing so much strengthening that I've noticed that my body really needs this. All right. Don't worry about being too graceful. Just bring your hands down. You can bend through your knee. Bend, drag that right heel in. And then just make your way back into a downward facing dog or a child's pose. You can move your blocks out of the way. Just any place that's kind of symmetrical to recalibrate. And check out the difference from one side to the other. And then walk up to the top of your mat. Find your halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And we'll just go straight into the other side. So step your right foot back into your lunge. Bring your right knee down. And then straighten through that left leg, and you can kind of tick-tock your left foot from side to side, but move it from your hip joint, right? So your knee and your toes are tracking in the same direction. And then find your blocks if you've got blocks. And just play with straightening through that left leg, maybe sliding that foot forward, and then knee toeing your right leg back. And bring your block any height underneath that left thigh. Or you can just keep your hands on your blocks here. And just find a place to just breathe. Lengthen out your exhales. I feel like you're lifting that right inner thigh up toward the ceiling. I like to have my back toes tucked. It just helps me feel a little more connected to my core. Just that postural feedback. Just take one more breath. And then rock yourself off your prop. Wiggle your way out of it. One last downward facing dog, and then we'll come to our backs. So just let yourself kind of find somewhere symmetrical and shift your hips from side to side. And then bring your knees down, cross your ankles behind you, sit back, lengthen your legs in front of you, and just make your way down to your back. So you can scoot your bum to the middle of your space and roll on down to your back. You can rest here in constructive rest. Let your feet go wide and knees together. And that may feel good, like a good place to stay. Or you can find a bridge pose. Draw your shoulder blades together. Lift your hips. Maybe interlace fingers underneath you. Just one place where you can kind of be symmetrical. Engage your body. But also tell yourself to calm down. If you're up in a bridge, you can release your hands. Come on down. Take your feet wide. Windshield wiper your knees. Just find those twists from side to side. And it might feel good to pause. Just kind of listen to your body, whether you're craving just dynamic movement, moving back and forth, or whether you want to hold a twist and stay there for a few breaths. Let yourself be symmetrical, so twist on one side just as long as the other. And then give yourself a hug. Rock a little there, and then tighten yourself up into a ball and just squeeze everything. So think of engaging the backs of your legs, scrunching up your face. You can scrunch up your feet and your fingers, and then completely release and relax onto the floor. And take up as much space as you can. And find some little rocks of your head till they get tinier and tinier, and your head is just perfectly balanced. Take a big breath in through your nose and sigh out of your mouth. And just feel that settle you down. And feel free just to stay here for as long as you can. When you're ready, you can wiggle fingers and toes, rock your head from side to side. Maybe stretch long, arms up by your ears. Bend your knees, roll to one side, and push yourself up. Thank you for practicing with me this morning. I'm sorry that I just was crazy. I don't know what I was thinking, that I started at 7 and was like, oh, I guess if no one's here, I'll just record a class. So you guys missed the warm-up, but I hope it was still good for you to start your day. I love you, friends. Namaste.